There is a battle that every man and woman must face. It is not fought on battlefields with swords or guns. It is not a war you read about in newspapers. It is the war that wages inside, a war where the enemy is not out there, it is within you. And until you learn how to conquer that enemy, that demon, you will never experience true freedom, true greatness, or lasting peace. Your demon may not wear horns or breathe fire. It may wear the disguise of procrastination. It may speak in the voice of doubt. It may show up in the form of fear, laziness, addiction, jealousy, resentment, shame, guilt, pride, or anger. These demons are subtle. They don't knock on the door and announce themselves. They slip into your life like shadows, and they whisper lies into your mind, lies like you're not good enough, lies like it's too late, lies like nobody cares, lies like you'll never change. And unless you confront these voices, unless you challenge and master them, they will master you. There is no destiny without discipline, there is no success without struggle, and there is no greatness without self-conquest. Every person you admire, every hero you study, every champion you see, at some point, they had to turn inward and confront the part of themselves that wanted to quit, the part that wanted to settle, the part that was afraid to be seen. And they made a decision, not once, not twice, but daily, hourly, minute by minute. They decided not to be controlled by that voice. They decided to become greater than their excuses. They decided to live, not by fear, but by faith. You may think your past disqualifies you. You may think you've made too many mistakes, but let me tell you something. Your past is not your prison, it is your preparation, if you let it be. Every failure, every betrayal, every heartbreak, every loss, it came to teach you. But if you run from it, if you avoid the lesson, the demon grows stronger. You feed it every time you numb yourself instead of facing yourself. And here is the truth you must understand. You cannot conquer what you refuse to confront. You cannot defeat what you are still making excuses for. You cannot rise while still protecting the chains that are keeping you down. The price of greatness is self-honesty. Brutal, relentless, no matter how much it hurts kind of honesty. Look in the mirror and ask yourself, what am I tolerating in my life that I know I should no longer accept? What behavior have I allowed that I know is destroying my potential? What am I running from that I must turn and face? Your demon wants you to stay asleep. It wants you to live in denial. It wants you to blame everyone else but never take responsibility. Because as long as you do, it controls you. But the moment you take ownership, the moment you say, "This ends with me," something shifts. A power is born inside you, not a weak power built on motivation or hype, but a deep, unshakable power built on decision, the decision to take back control of your life. You will not conquer your demons by reading books alone. You will not conquer them by wishing or hoping. You conquer them by doing the work, the daily work of facing yourself, the quiet work that nobody sees, the uncomfortable work of discipline, character, and sacrifice. You must become the master of your mind, the guard of your thoughts, the commander of your habits. It won't be easy. Growth never is. You will cry, you will fall, you will feel alone at times, you will question everything. But if you endure, if you stay the course, you will emerge with something no one can take from you: strength, wisdom, freedom, and truth. And let me tell you, there is nothing more powerful than a person who has faced their own darkness and chose to rise anyway. You see, most people wait for the world to change before they decide to change, but champions understand. The world changes after they change. They don't wait for a better life. They build one, and the first blueprint is the battle plan against the self. That fear in your mind, it's a lie. That insecurity, it's a habit. That doubt, it's an illusion. But you won't know that until you do the hard thing, until you show up when you don't feel like it, until you train your mind like a warrior, until you fast from comfort and feed your soul with purpose. Your demon cannot survive the fire of truth, so you must build that fire day by day, discipline by discipline, thought by thought, action by action. You must declare war on everything inside you that doesn't belong in the life you desire, if it isn't lifting you, it's limiting you, if it isn't building you, it's breaking you, and if it isn't pushing you forward, it's pulling you back. Don't you dare make peace with the demon that was sent to destroy you. You are not a slave to your emotions. You are not a prisoner of your past. You are not the product of your pain. You are the architect of your destiny. But you must choose, because every day you feed the demon, you starve the dream. When you get tired of being tired, when you get sick of your own excuses, when you decide enough is enough, you will discover the power that's been sleeping inside you. And when that power wakes up, everything changes. You stop asking for permission. You stop seeking validation. You stop living small, because you know, deep down, you were never meant for mediocrity. You were born to win. And winning doesn't start when you cross the finish line. It starts when you decide you won't quit, no matter what, when you fight through fear, when you overcome resistance, when you show up with courage in the face of the demon that says you can't. Because every time you fight, the demon shrinks, and every time you face it, you grow. So let me ask you, what would happen if you stopped running? What would happen if you got serious, if you truly committed? If you declared, "This is the year I become who I was born to be," what would your life look like if the chains came off, if the lies were silenced, if the demon was defeated? You're not here by accident. You're hearing this for a reason. There is a version of you that is waiting to be unlocked, a version that is bold, disciplined, focused, and powerful. That version is not found in comfort. It is not found in your old habits. It is found in warfare, in the spiritual, emotional, and mental battleground where most never go. But if you are brave enough to go there, if you are courageous enough to walk through the fire, you will not just conquer your demons. You will become a force that no demon can conquer. This is your moment, this is your test, and this is your time. Go to war, not out there, but in here, within, because that's where the real victory lies. And once you've begun the battle, understand this. It doesn't stop after one victory. The demon doesn't retreat forever. It waits. It lurks in silence, disguising itself as comfort, slipping into your routines, appearing again when your guard is down. That's why this battle must become your lifestyle. This awareness, this discipline, must be your way of living, not a temporary strategy. You must rise every day with a mission in your heart, not a mission to prove yourself to others, but a mission to rise above who you were yesterday. You must begin to see every challenge not as opposition, but as opportunity, because your demon will come at you dressed as rejection. It will come at you cloaked as delay. It will speak through the mouths of critics and whisper through the lips of the weak. It will tell you to slow down, to settle, to stay comfortable, and your job, your only job, is to ignore it and act anyway. Those who conquer their demons are not the strongest. They're not the smartest. They're not even the most talented. They are the ones who decide that the old version of themselves no longer gets to make the decisions. They no longer negotiate with weakness. They no longer justify failure. They no longer entertain what drains their power. They are not perfect, but they are possessed by purpose. You see, the man who is possessed by purpose cannot be controlled by fear. The woman who is fueled by vision cannot be stopped by emotion. When you know why you are here, when you understand what you've been called to do, you walk differently. You speak differently. You live with urgency, because you understand. Your time is limited, your mission is sacred, and your life is not a game. And when you begin to live with that conviction, you stop caring about temporary opinions. You stop waiting for external validation. You no longer fear the silence because you've made peace with the truth. And the truth is this: you were not created to be average. You were not made to blend in. You were not meant to live chained to guilt, fear, or regret. You were meant to break free. And you break free the moment you say, "I'm done running. I'm done hiding. I'm done pretending this version of me is all there is." Your demon wants you distracted. It wants you busy with noise, entertainment, comparison. It wants you scrolling, reacting, retreating, instead of building, creating, and becoming. You must wake up, because every second you remain asleep, the demon grows, and every second you decide to wake up, to be conscious, intentional, and aware. You take back ground, but it's not enough to resist darkness. You must replace it with light, replace self, doubt with discipline, replace bitterness with gratitude, replace comfort with clarity. You must become so full of your purpose that your old habits cannot survive the environment of your new identity. And that identity must be built deliberately, brick by brick, day by day, battle by battle. No one can do this work for you. There is no shortcut, no cheat code. No savior is coming to do the heavy lifting inside your soul. This is your cross to carry, your fire to walk through, and your mountain to climb. But if you climb it, if you refuse to turn back, what you'll find on the other side is not just success, not just achievement, but liberation, the kind of liberation that makes you unshakable, the kind of freedom that can't be taken, because it's been earned in the furnace of affliction. It's the freedom that comes from self, mastery. And nothing, nothing is more valuable than that. When you conquer your demons, you don't just change your life. You change your lineage. You break generational cycles. You silence generational voices that told you can't. You shift what is possible not only for yourself, but for everyone connected to your name, your children, and their children's children. This is not just about you. It's about your legacy. But if you don't fight, if you don't face yourself, you pass those demons down. You hand them off like a cursed inheritance, and you will watch the people you love suffer from battles you refuse to fight. That's the real cost of avoidance. So fight like your future depends on it, because it does. Fight like your name is on the line, because it is. Fight like heaven is watching and hell is hoping you don't, because both are. And every day you rise with fire, speak with fire, walk with fire. Let your very presence become a threat to your old self. Be so committed to growth that every fear, every lie, every excuse starts to suffocate under the weight of your discipline. Do not make the mistake of thinking your demon is out there. It's in the decisions you make when no one is watching. It's in the food you eat, the content you consume, the words you speak to yourself, the promises you break with yourself. It's in the silence between the desire and the action. It lives in that gap. That's where the battle is. And when you finally win the battle in that gap, when your actions begin to align with your vision, and your habits begin to reflect your highest standards, you don't just survive, you transform. Transformation is not a moment. It's not a single choice, it's a process, a ruthless daily shedding of everything that no longer belongs in your future. Your demon wants you to delay that process. It wants you to wait for the right time, but there is no right time. There is only right now, the now where you stand at the edge of who you've been, and who you could be. Step forward, not with fear, but with fire. Step forward, even shaking, even uncertain, even afraid. Step forward, because every step toward your future kills another part of your past, and that is how you win, not in a blaze of glory, but in the quiet, daily steps of consistency. So step again, and again, and again, until the man or woman staring back at you in the mirror is no longer a prisoner, but a warrior, one who has faced the demon, one who has endured the darkness, one who has emerged, not broken, but reborn. ChatGPT said, because the rebirth is real, it does not come wrapped in fanfare or celebration. It comes quietly, like a new dawn after the longest night of your soul, and when it comes, it doesn't ask for permission. It doesn't wait for applause. It simply arrives, not because the world changed, but because you changed, because you made a decision that weakness would not have the final say, that fear would not write your story, that doubt would not dictate your future. And in that moment, when you stand firm, when you refuse to collapse under pressure, you begin to see the demon for what it always was, a test, a teacher, a mirror. It was never there to destroy you. It was there to forge you, to refine you, to strip away what was fake and reveal what was real. You must stop asking for a life without pressure. You must stop praying for comfort and start training for conflict. Because greatness is not birthed in pleasure. It is born in the crucible of discomfort, forged in fire and sustained by vision. If you want to be strong, you must go where the weak refuse to go. If you want peace, you must first declare war on your excuses, your stagnation, your mediocrity. And you must learn how to suffer well, not suffer in silence, not suffer in shame, but suffer intentionally, suffer for a purpose, suffer in pursuit of something greater than pain, because there is sacredness in suffering that comes from growth. It cleans you, it reveals your character, it humbles you while sharpening you. The man who can suffer with purpose cannot be manipulated by pleasure, and the woman who can endure with dignity cannot be moved by temporary opinions. So when life gets loud, when the demon roars, when it seems like you've come to your limit, remind yourself, this is where I get stronger, this is where most break, and I build, this is where others fold, and I focus. Because I wasn't born to be average, I wasn't created to cower, I am not here to escape pressure, I am here to apply it, on myself, on my vision, on my destiny. You must demand more from yourself than anyone else could ever expect. Raise your standard, raise your language, raise your intensity. No one is coming to push you. No one is coming to save you. You are the one. You are the hero you've been waiting for, and heroes are not found. They are forged. You have to stop speaking like a victim. Stop thinking like a captive. Stop walking like someone waiting to be rescued. Walk like you carry fire in your bones. Speak like you have something eternal inside you. Because you do, and every time you act out of fear, you dishonor that gift. Every time you shrink back, you insult the power that was placed in you. Every time you delay the mission that's been burning in your chest, you betray your own soul. The world is watching, yes, but that's not what matters. You are watching, and that is what counts. What do you see when you look at yourself in the dark? What do you whisper to yourself when no one else can hear? Do you see a warrior or a worrier? Do you see someone building or someone blaming? Do you see someone who fights or someone who flees because the demon knows? It knows when you fake it. It knows when you lie to yourself. It knows when your actions don't match your ambition. You can fool people. You can wear the mask. But in the quiet corners of your soul, the truth always echoes. And until you confront that truth, you will remain a slave to the very thing you were born to defeat. You were made for more, not just more money, not just more attention, not just more applause. You were made for more meaning, more purpose, more alignment between who you say you are and how you live. That alignment is what kills the demon, because the demon thrives in double-mindedness. It lives in the space between intention and execution, and the moment those two become one, when your walk matches your talk, when your actions match your identity, your demon begins to starve. And the ones who make it to the other side, they don't just survive their demons, they use them. They take every attack, every loss, every wound, and they build with it. They turn pain into power. They turn betrayal into wisdom. They turn isolation into elevation, because nothing is wasted in the hands of the determined, nothing is lost when the vision is clear, and no demon can defeat the soul that refuses to quit, so don't quit. Don't pause, don't shrink, double down, lean in, go deeper. The easy road leads to regret, but the hard road, that narrow, lonely, brutal path, that road leads to destiny, to legacy, to truth. You must earn your freedom every day. You must pay the price of becoming over and over again, not because you're not enough, but because there is always more inside you. The job of the demon is to make you forget that. The job of discipline is to remind you that you were born with everything you need, that the vision is already inside you, that the fire already burns, and that greatness is not about feeling ready. It's about being willing to do what must be done, no matter what it costs. Willing to face rejection, to be misunderstood, to be laughed at, judged, ridiculed, and still rise, because your calling is louder than their opinions, your purpose is stronger than their noise, and your mission is more sacred than their mockery. And when you begin to live like that, when you carry your calling like a sword and your purpose like armor, the demon loses its grip, not because it's gone, but because you've grown. You've outgrown the lies. You've outgrown the limits. You've outgrown the version of you that used to flinch at pressure, that used to compromise for comfort. Now you operate from conviction. You're no longer chasing motivation. You're moving from mission, and that kind of energy, it cannot be faked, it cannot be borrowed, it must be forged through fire. When you carry yourself with that inner fire, the room changes when you enter it. Not because you're loud, but because you're anchored. People feel something in you that they can't explain. It's not charisma, it's clarity, it's not hype, it's presence, because when you conquer your demons, you gain access to a different kind of power, silent power. Still power, the kind that doesn't need to prove anything because it knows. It knows what it cost to get here. It knows what it took to overcome. It knows the nights you cried and still showed up, the days you were tempted to quit, but kept going. That power cannot be taken. It was earned. That's the power that builds empires, that raises generations, that shifts atmospheres. But understand this, the demon doesn't die. It evolves. It disguises itself as success. It will show up in your pride, in your comfort, in your victories. That's why you must stay vigilant. You must never fall in love with ease. You must never let the applause become louder than the inner voice of discipline. The moment you get comfortable is the moment you become vulnerable, so stay hungry, stay sharp. Stay grounded in the truth that this life is not about arrival, it's about advancement. You are either growing or declining, becoming stronger or becoming weaker. There is no pause button on purpose. You must decide every single day who you will be, what you will believe, and how you will move, and never forget. The demon attacks most violently when you're closest to a breakthrough. The pressure intensifies right before the next level. That's when you must dig deeper than ever before. That's when you must look the darkness in the face and say, "You've had your time, but now I rise." And rise you must. Because the world needs you, not the version of you that hides, but the version of you that heals, the version that leads, the version that doesn't wait for the world to change, but becomes the change. You can't do that if you're still negotiating with fear. You can't do that if you're still clinging to who you were. The old version of you must die, so the real you can live. That's what this battle is about. It's not about external success. It's about internal resurrection. It's about the emergence of the version of you that was buried under guilt, shame, insecurity, fear, laziness, trauma. You are not here to manage your demons. You are here to bury them. But burying them doesn't happen in one moment. It's a lifestyle. It's a relentless commitment to never go back, to never pick up what you once laid down, to never return to the comfort that once poisoned you. And that requires standards, higher standards than you've ever lived by, standards that demand truth, that demand excellence, that demand accountability. You must hold yourself to such a standard that even your past fears no longer recognize you. Your old friends don't understand you. Your former self wouldn't even know how to have a conversation with who you are becoming, because now you're different. You've stepped into the fire. You've faced yourself. You've gone to war with your own mind, and you've won, not once, but every time you decided not to quit, every time you chose progress over comfort, every time you showed up without applause, every time you kept your promise to yourself. And that consistency, that quiet, invisible, unglamorous commitment, is what builds character. It's what builds strength. It's what builds legacy, because it's not what you do when everyone is watching. It's what you do when no one is watching that writes your destiny. And so I ask you again, who are you becoming? Are you still feeding your demon with distraction, with doubt, with delay? Or are you feeding your spirit with direction, with discipline, with destiny? Are you still waiting for a better time? Or are you creating it with the decisions you make right now? This is the question that will haunt or heal you for the rest of your life. Not what happened to you, not who hurt you, not what went wrong, but what did you do about it? What did you become because of it? Did you allow your pain to define you, or did you allow it to refine you? Because when the dust settles, when the spotlight fades, when all the noise of the world dies down, the only thing that will matter is this: did you answer the call? Did you conquer what was sent to destroy you? Did you become the person you were created to be? So now you stand at the edge of decision, the place where destiny is forged or forfeited. No more excuses, no more waiting, no more carrying the weight of who you used to be. It is time to bury your demons once and for all, not with fear, but with fire, not by running, but by rising. The storm didn't come to drown you. It came to reveal you, to show you what still needs to be fought, what still needs to be faced, and what still needs to be freed. You were not born to bow to darkness. You were born to dominate it, not because you're perfect, not because you've never failed, but because deep inside you is a force greater than any fear, greater than any failure, greater than any demon that has ever whispered you were not enough. Now is the time to stop dancing with doubt and start walking in power. You will not go back. You will not fold, you will conquer, because once a person sees who they truly are, what they truly carry, they can never unsee it. And that vision, that fire, that truth is your weapon. Use it, wield it, live it, and let the world feel the impact of a soul that chose to conquer, when it had every reason to quit,